It's time for story time!
Mike, tell me about the dumbest way recently that you know someone has been hacked.
The one I quite often use in my training, and I think it's just a great story because it just shows how important people are, is how Uber got hacked. So I know for a fact that they got breached. Someone got their credentials. Someone got like Crim's got login credentials, which I know that shouldn't happen, but it still does, right? With just using the same credentials, they get them somehow and I find them for dark web. But there was a female working at Uber, and she was getting the multi-factor push notifications, right? You get it on your phone and it goes, "Is this you logging in?" She was getting that. She's going, "No," as she should, right? What she didn't do is realize that someone's logging in as her, so they got a password. So she didn't do anything about it, and it kept coming back and back. She's going, "No, it's not me. No, it's not me. No, it's not me." Probably a bit more action required. Anyway, what did the Crims do? So this is where the human factor sort of really steps up. They got onto WhatsApp. They found her mobile. They connected with her on WhatsApp. And then they said they were IT support for Uber, and they said, "We're testing the multi-factor. Can you accept the request we're sending through?" So, and I feel bad, right? I mean, that's terrible. So here's this lady going, "Oh, it's Uber. They're testing the multi-factor. Oh, God, that explains it. Yes, it's me. Boom, they're on the network." It kind of blows my mind, right? And I think and you and me talk about this stuff a lot. It's like, companies get breached, and a lot of the time in the news it's like, "Oh, it was a complex attack. It was so well crafted and they went to a lot of thought." And I'm like, "Oh, it didn't take long to work out, does it?" Stuff like that. It's just a bit simple. But that one is one I'll often tell in training just to people, because when I'm talking about MFA, key thing, if it's not you logging in and you're getting a prompt, change your password and report it. Like, do it now. Don't sit there and think it's all cool. Someone's got the password. So that's a story I like. I use that a fair bit.
You got the aspect of social engineering, and it was simple for these hackers, as you said, to be able to basically find the contact details of this person.
It's not hard,
because let's face it, everyone's oversharing on every platform, and it's not very hard to find this information. And then secondly, they were basically MFA spoofing. They're constantly hitting them up, and they wore them down to the point where when they actually got in contact and sounded legit and they knew what was happening, the person felt trusting because they were, "Oh, okay, I work for Uber. Yes, that must be legit." So as always, the lesson there from me is, even if that happens to you, 100% immediately change your passwords no matter what. But even beforehand, you can, if you think that's legit, call the number yourself. Call Uber and say, "Hey, I've just received a WhatsApp message from your IT team advising this is what's going on." And they will tell you that's not what we're doing and that's definitely a scam. And then, again, proceed by changing your passwords, because as you were alluded there, if someone's got to the point where you're receiving that, they know your username, which is usually an email address, and a password.
Are we charging people for this advice? Is that
100%. This is a training session.
That's very good knowledge.
This is definitely a training session.
Yeah, and this is what they call an MFA fatigue attack, where they just wear you down and you just eventually just go, "Oh, stuff, whatever." That's what that type of MFA is subject to when Crims try and use it against us. But gee, well said, Bora. That was really well summarised, way better than what I did.
Thank you very much. Okay, so as we've said, the lessons from the story today is, if you get constantly hit with multi-factor authentication requests, then know that your email and passwords for whatever that account is, it should be obvious, because it will tell you they're trying to log into your Microsoft or your Google or whatever it is. Immediately change your password. Verify. If you get an email from, or a message or a call from someone, you should always verify by calling the number you have in your CRM or your own contact, or carefully, if you're going to check the web, don't click on the first paid link. Look for the actual web address, and based on that, call them. Let them know what's going on, and they'll tell you.
Do you know the saying in cybersecurity? They say, "Oh, I've got to get this right." Yeah, there's two ways of saying this. They go trust, then verify. That seems to be the way people say it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? I'm like, trust nothing, verify everything.
That's right. 100%.
I don't start with trust, man. I'm like, skip. I got it the other day, and this is one of the things I talk about. I go, crims forge phone numbers, right? They forge voices. And one of the stories I'll often tell is you might get like a phone call from someone in your family, and it's their voice and it's their number, and they go, "Oh, I've lost a credit card," right? And I'm always going, you need that suspicion in your brain where straight away you just switch to, hey, this could be dodgy. I'm going to verify. There's no trust at the start, nothing. And I got, because my daughter, she sent me a text message, or I got a text message. It was like, "Oh, Dad, I left my credit card at home and, can you give me credit card details?" And I swear, like my brain in a thousandth of a second was like, damn, crims. I was like, boom. And, straight away. And no, there's no way in heck. So I texted back and I was having a quick chat just to gauge if it was her or not. And I was never going to give the credit card details over any sort of text-based unencrypted medium. And I eventually rang her back. Turned out it was her. But I think that's missing, right? The whole don't trust stuff. Straight away, your brain in this day and age with deepfakes and forging should be just, not, I ain't doing that. And I hope people are starting to wake up to that with all the AI stuff out there that they're seeing on the socials and realizing it's not a big leap to be contacting you with forged voices and forged video even. So,
100%. And if you're watching the news, you'll know that there's a big war happening in the Middle East at the moment. They're saying that a majority of the videos that are on social media are actually, and can be proved if you look at this up, are deep fakes.
Yeah,
maybe,
absolutely.
1 in 3 or 4 are real, and the rest are all literally deep fake videos. Like, a jet gets being chased by or gets hit by a missile.
Yeah. It's so
oddly enough, my understanding was when a missile hits something, it immediately explodes. It doesn't take it 10 seconds, but, dead giveaway there. But for the average person who doesn't know and looks at these videos, the issues that can cause, the things that can trick your mind into believing misleading information, it's crazy.
There's a ton of that stuff. I've seen so much of it online. And you see a rocket come down, and they might be filming it from a balcony like 3 kilometers away, and you hear the explosion as soon as the flash goes. You're like, well, that's fake. They're not critical enough about this stuff. I posted this the other day. I posted up, here's the pilot that did the bomb that killed their leader, right? I showed a photo of the guy. Now, I created that photo on Grok. It took me about 10 seconds. I just gave a prompt, give me a photo of a pilot. It was actually stupid. I said, give me a photo of a pilot in front of a fighter jet with a helmet on. And it put the helmet on, and it was also holding a helmet. I'm like, can you take the helmet out of their hands? But same thing. And people are, that's what I saw on the socials. And it's this clickbait stuff, right? It's just people were getting onto it and commenting, and just hundreds of thousands going, why are you sharing this? You've given this man's identity away. And then, the subset of people are going, well, this is obviously fake. But the engagement, and that's a scam in itself. It's engagement farming. It's rage bait stuff. It's you're paying, people are making money off your reaction they get ad revenue.
Definitely.
It's like you've just been scammed. Like, you're not going to get hacked, but you've been scammed and someone made money off it.